So, if you're playing, where do you start?
Well, I suck at this game, which is what I normally say, but I really suck at this game. I would have done exactly what they just did and go to Link's house and then check Stumpy like JP is doing.
And they get blue mail in Link's house, so if you like 3 Heart Green Mail Thieves Town, you are out of luck today.
Which is good, because I hate Green Heart. Three Hearts Green Mail Thieves Town. $5 tree pull, as Amazing Ampharos said on our chat, that we did put some trees in there so that we can get tree pulls now in the Dark World.
Yep, and there was just a piece of uselessness overlocked by the magic cape as sab0tender's going to start with a Skull Woods dive.
Yeah, one thing when you run inverted, one thing you learn real quickly is that there aren't really a lot of places to go get bombs. One of the places that you can are these pots here in Skullwoods. So this is one of the places you'll normally see fast. Oh, we got a map check. Green pendant Skullwoods, red pendant Turtle Rock, and a 5/6 crystal at Thieves Town.
That we did indeed get checked, and all other locations are just regular crystals. So the entire bottom trio of the Dark World, as well as pod, regular old crystals. BrewersFan's gonna go gambling.
And just gonna get 1/6 of his money back.
Boo! The rip-offs begin early this seed. Could also get a bomb right there, as Brewers just did, opening the brewery.
Big 20 in that brewery hut.
Well, that big 20 is kind of actually important in this mode, because that'll send us off to play some archery, perhaps. No, BrewersFan, you've already been there. Oh, he's trying to farm some bombs. Oof. So as Sabo says, to heck with this dungeon, JP's Diamond Thieves Town. Here we go.
Which is pretty much how everything converges. Power Glove in the first chest in Thieves Town.
We can climb a mountain if we get some lamp.
Antisim in chat asking, does bombs hurt blind? No, they do not. Which, again, I keep saying I suck at this game. That is actually one of the things I like whenever I play inverted. If I don't get a sword or a hammer or some weapon to kill blind, that means I can't kill blind. That means I'm not required to kill blind. That means I'm not going to die to blind.
True story. I am also quite the filthy script, but the cane of Daniel Bryan does mean we could kill blind. And there's a lamp!
There's the lamp. At least we have some invincibility when trying to do that.
So, witches are flammable. That's a thing.
Looks like we're about to get some, get our hype index early on tonight.
Cave of questionable value being checked by JP. And it starts with a sword. A pearl, 10 arrows, piece of heart, blueberries. What do you rate that cave? I'd give it a solid 8 myself. There was a sword there.
I give it a solid meh, like 5-ish. I usually go by, I don't go by numbers. I usually go by, like, feelings.
Fair. Meh out of 10. Yeah, I could dig that. I could dig it more if there was a shovel there, but no luck with that today.
This is true. This does mean that AGA 1 is now open.
Wizard play this early on a Ganon goal?
I mean, at this point, this is kind of the tease that the seed is at right now. You've basically...
Oh, careful, JP.
JP's trying to get a tree pole, but doesn't get it done. This is kind of the tease that the seed is at right now. You've got... Inverted is very claustrophobic, because you basically have digging game, but you need to get 80 bucks, which is what I think JP was trying to do.
Yep.
To do digging game. You've got the back 4 chests in Thieves Town. Back 4 item locations if you include blind. And then, with access to Dark Death Mountain right now, you have 2 items at Super Bunny Cave, plus the Old Man, plus Light World inside Spectacle Rock. So you still have enough locations where if you're looking for just the hammer or Titan's Mitts, you have enough to where I don't really think you would want to be doing AGA 1 just yet, but right now the seed is saying you can do it.
Yep, JP was indeed farming for the big 80, as you were mentioning. Probably does not have quite the expertise in archery. What you want to do, if you do play the archery route, stand over right next to the vendor, and when your target's behind the second curtain from the right, that's when you want to fire. You can play either 2 or 3 games if you're quick, before the hands line up, start blocking shots.
Mm-hmm. Well, JP is going to show us the digging game.
If you'll keep us busy on the other side, I'll keep the count for you.
All right. sab0tender looks like he is heading back into Thieves Town.
It's bad. 28 digs for blueberries. Boo!
You say that, but one of the things with Inverted is JP got more money finishing the dig game than he's spent to play the dig game. So you do want to get that extra cash.
Profit is nice. Should say it's nice till we see our first 300.
And to Antisim's question in chat, no, you do not need the cape. There is no electric barrier like there is in the regular one. So AGA 1 only requires a sword, a lamp, and a power glove.
Yep. And a unique item is in the well.
Thanks, game. Well's like one of the places that usually there's a unique item just by default.
There are 5 chests there. The likelihood is high. So JP is dipping the parts of Skull Woods that we have seen already. Sabo, on the other hand, about to open the skylight in Thieves Town.
Ooh. That would have been nice to have that 8 bomb drop. Problem is, sab0tender's got 9 bombs.
And I'll be starting that dungeon from scratch. So, interesting enough, both runners deciding to avoid the mountain for now. So, Jax, do we know which group these runners are coming to us from today?
Group F. That was what Sabo said when they submitted the seed. So they are in Group F.
Oh, so that's why the chat's pressing F.
That's usually to pay respects after a death.
Yeah, this is inverted. We're going to see a lot of that early on. Still have not found a single full health upgrade yet in this seed.
Yeah, we've seen a couple pieces of heart. We're about...
JP's off of the big chest.
But just another small key.
Opts to collect the big 20 before save and quit. Good idea. Blind's chest just holding a map, so... Cane strats, best way I love to take out Blind. But we might be seeing this dungeon again because there's a certain big chest that we can't access right now.
Yeah, but if you notice, we're also lacking in a small key.
Oh, right. And because of soft lock potential, we cannot get a small key off of Blind, so... 1-to-1 key logic strikes again, and winter is a great time to chill. Thanks, Blind.
The one other interesting point with that, well, I'll wait till after the boss fight, because now we're in the danger zone.
But we got cane strats, so no danger at all.
Alright. Blind is down, triple bombs for your troubles, and the first crystal of the game 12 minutes in, with some Cane O'Brien swag. So interesting thing about the small key being locked in the big chest. That, by logic, means that the big, the seed assumes you have to have the hammer. So...
Yes, because you can actually route things... Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, when you're about to go up through past the Hellway, you can steal that key instead of using it where you need to go down to the basement and access the area where that chest is. Though nobody does it. Go ahead, sorry.
No, exactly to your point. So, the thing is, at that point, we were pretty much assumed that we weren't going to get, I mean, we probably would have got progression, but it certainly wasn't going to be the hammer. And we did get a map check on JP's end. We got the other 5-6 crystal was at Eastern, and the other pendant looked like it was at...
Hera?
I thought I saw it at Hera, but our tracker is saying it was Desert.
Oh, Sabo doesn't know his lineup. There, he got it. Paid 20, got 12. Okay, let's try that again.
Meanwhile, JP returns Old Man home. And is gonna go check the hint. And we have a Book of Literacy.
Well, that's the only way to get desert access here, and there's a unique item above the pose.
Okay, that's a mildly amusing hint, because that pretty much means Graveyard Ledge might have something. Most of the time,
could have a single arrow.
Yeah, which is why I say it's only mildly amusing.
Also, fun fact, the single rupee we saw on top of Spec Rock is not unique. There are 2 of those.
So pretty much at this point, to avoid Aga 1, our only shot at this point is the 2 chests in Super Bunny Cave, which, yes, this does mean you have to try to get through the Lionels. And you have a Cane O'Brien, so it is possible, but it is logically in logic.
Cane O'Brien is amazing. Love that item.
JP makes it through.
So, the Cave of Hyrule's favorite superhero, Super Bunny. What is it going to be that gives us some more progress? Nothing!
I mean, I would certainly call 2 heart pieces to get you a full heart container. Definitely not nothing. It doesn't...
It's safety, but there's nothing logically.
Yes, it doesn't negate the fact that we are going to have to do Act 1, but at least now you have a 4th heart.
Fighter's Sword, Burna, Aga 1. Well, you got your Aga 1 part of the seed. We will soon see if it is also, perhaps, Pedestal?
Well, the good news is that Hera and Skullwoods are pendant, so that has a lot fewer requirements in terms of what can't be on the pedestal. The problem is Turtle Rock's the other one, and that kind of negates a lot of things. Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Canis Samari are out. Hera, you need the, no matter what, because of the mirror change, you have to have Hammer and Hook. No, actually, you could have Titan's Mitts and Hammer.
Yeah, so, this is inverted. Let's not try to overly logic this. Let's just sit back and watch JP go through the Castle Tower. I mean, Ganon's Tower. I mean, Castle Tower. Yeah, those of you new to inverted, the 2 towers have flipped places. Sabo sees the literacy. Gonna go for it.
Which is interesting, because now with the hints in version 30, you see a lot more runners just YOLO right for the item inside Spectacle Rock to read the hint. They don't even bother doing a preliminary check.
And this is normal, so we're gonna see a few more useful hints than hard mode.
And there's one of those useless hints.
Because there's always money in the banana stand. Though I personally do not like bananas. Bold moves by sab0tender. They're not using the cane to get past those Lionels. JP's just 1 floor away from being off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Ugh.
The wizard that likes to throw blue balls that we like to count. JTN, any thoughts on how many blue balls that the Wizard of Ugh is going to throw at us?
I predict the number of blue balls to be high. I'm going to guess 7, because I'm that kind of guy today. What about you?
I'll go 3.
Tracker wants to see a high number. Let's count.
Well, that one's required to be a normal one, and now we're going to have 3 random 50-50 ones. There's the first blue ball.
One blue ball. Two blue balls.
Now we got the required lightning. And then the required normal shot. And now we spin again.
Three blue balls. Four blue balls. We're already over the average. 5. Okay, seriously, this is not getting funny anymore. I might actually be right at a call for once.
Alright, so this one will be required, so we're at 4 and 5.
6 blue balls! Oh my. And there's 7. Are we on pace for 15?
Well, there's 8.
The dream of maxing out is alive, folks!
Alright, well, one more shot and Naga will be down. There's 9.
10! We got a 10-pack!
And there we go.
10 blue balls! That's horrible.
Alright, well, the closest one in chat that got to 10 was X1372 that guessed 11. Congratulations! You won absolutely nothing.
Yes, you have won a lifetime supply of nothing, as JP is off the uncle.
Who gave away the explosives that he was going to use to try to blow up the castle, and failed miserably.
My favorite cursor to randomizer. Blueberries.
Right,
hey, a 5th heart.
Finally, we get a heart container.
Well, we've got Light World access. The Village of Health awaits. I mean, there's a unique item in the well, but JP says, nah, I'm going to escape this castle once and for all. Meanwhile, sab0tender about to learn his 10 blue ball fate.
Amazing Ampharos is asking, so do you do Hyrule Castle right now or check the 2 hinted items? With the lamp and the power glove, I would certainly be thinking about trying to just run the whole escape sequence, because if the key is in the front part, then you can just run the whole of escape, get out in Sanctuary, and then you could go right to Graveyard Ledge, because we know a unique item is there from the hint.
True, we did get that hint. Piece of part in the Bloomerang chest. And the rage slashes begin in sab0tender's fight.
Getting a little too close to those rage slashes.
Yeah, in tournament play, this is the largest number of blue balls I've ever seen from an AGA 1.
$20, so JP will now intentionally
take the death warp.
Yep, and we'll see if there's a small key in the Dark Cross room.
Worst Aghanim ever. Gotta love those two guards at the top of the castle. They're most oblivious guards in the world. Just watch you walk right by. Alright, sab0tender. Castle or village?
Looks like he's joining JP in the castle, and we did get the small key in the Dark Cross room, so JP is on his way to the back of Escape.
I love it when Rando goes vanilla like that. Though one thing nice about Inverted, you've got bombs coming through here.
Yep, no need to farm them like in a standard seed.
Alright, Escape, what you got? 20 bucks. Stop! It's hammer time! And an ether medallion. Well, that was definitely worthwhile.
Certainly was. Have to imagine JP will now check Sanctuary and then head over to check Graveyard Ledge. We did get a hint that a unique item was there. I like what One Up in chat said. Ether and Hammer, that's a Mjolnir combo.
So JP's off to get some unique item. Also, that bridge is in the wrong world. Thanks, Inverted.
Yeah, well, when the mirror goes from the light world to the dark world, we kind of had to do some excavation. And Silver Arrows is that unique item.
Nice! Not immediately useful, but nice. Now watch, something like the bow is going to be on the pedestal here or something. I'm not calling that. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It is certainly possible.
No boots, so we can't get Lumberjack, but we can check it.
Well, the Bloomerang is there.
Yep, not seeing that today. Oh, great. Look what I did. Now everybody's speculating about where the bow could be in chat.
Such is the nature of chat. Don't get us wrong, we love you, chat. But we do have to, you know, call it like we see it.
Alright, mushroom spot is... Ooh, full heart.
And with that...
Go ahead.
It's pedestal. Get your pedestal hype in. We're about to see what's on that pedestal.
Benefit of early book is we're going to see what is on the pedestal to JP. Make it good. I said make it good. It's a little piece of love that's useless. We're not seeing a pedestal today. Boo. Couldn't have done that better myself. No, really, I couldn't. One day my shovel will be there, and it will be required.
All right, so we also saw that we also heard that there was a unique item in the well, which really doesn't tell us much. There usually is a unique item here.
10-pack of arrows, not unique. Water nose!
That is a unique pair of footwear, as well as Titan's mitts.
Well, well, well! That certainly opens up a lot of locations, including what is in inverted a fetch quest in King's Tomb. Yeah, that's literally potentially all that the mitts are good for.
Yep. In order to make inverted work where you can get to Dark World dungeons and the Dark World by itself, you pretty much had to remove all the...
Water toes!
Man, Kakariko is loaded.
And there's 2 heart containers? Maybe I was right when I call it Village of Health.
Well, there's another heart piece.
Jeez! This village is just outstanding! Speaking of which, there are still items outstanding in the village!
Like an outstanding Master Sword?
Yeah, like that! Come on, Chicken Hut, keep the train going! Ah, blueberries. Bar none, that is a nice item to see.
Except when Turtle Rock's a pendant. Side note, Turtle Rock's a pendant.
Hey, there are 8 item locations in that dungeon. It is the 3rd highest in the game.
Meanwhile, JP is going to go check Flanktuary with that Titan's mitts we found.
I like that name, Flanktuary.
You can thank the good old Dr. Bobtastic for that one that I stole.
I will certainly be sure to sing his praises. So, this seed, do you end up wanting to do the fetch quest? Not that one.
Alright, so while we've got a moment, since we got a lot of items that get us closer to go mode, we still need bow, we still need hookshot, we still need either fire rod or bombos to get into Ice Palace, and we need a cane of Samaria for Mire and the mirror for Swamp. So, got a lot of value, but still at least 5 items away from go mode.
Who was the idiot that put a very fragile glass bottle on top of the library?
RNGesus?
Bless RNG. And sick kids' life savings of $20. Interesting. JP is going to check out the race game before playing. And there's yet another sword. Bacon definitely being worth the time investment.
Certainly indeed.
So we're like 35 minutes and we've got 3 swords. Jet Seed?
Yeah, like I said, we still got about 5 items from go mode before we can really call this a Jet Seed. I mean, 35 minutes in, we've got quite the value from Kakariko.
Yeah, that was a very thrifty village. You could almost call it a value village. And there's a unique item in Cave 45, the 10 bomb.
And I think we're about to see a play on Desert. We're going to probably see Bombos Tablet, Aeginus Cave, and
Checkerboard.
And Checkerboard, and then probably go tick on Desert. I like this move.
Yeah, usually you see Aegina done solo, but it's actually routed in with everything. And there's a second empty bottle. Or we're going to see Desert first and the loose items picked up after the fact.
That kind of makes sense. Because you can, after taking care of Lambo, just go straight right, and you'll be right at Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, it might save a couple seconds of overworld running. First, the vanilla map chest. As Smoky, so we're going right first thing. Compass completely vanilla.
Do we have a vanilla big key? Yep.
Burn the witch! Well, at least the big chest can't be vanilla. We already have both lift upgrades.
Alright, we got Cape on the Desert Torch.
Not required, but convenient.
Okay, Fire Rod is in the coffee break room in Hera.
We will be paying a visit to the Hera penalty box today.
Alright, so Fisher Price, my first shield, is in Aeginus Cave. So this leads to an interesting question, JTN.
Oh.
You know that the Fire Rod is in Pendant Hera, which would get you access to Ice Palace. Now,
I got 2 words for you. Full clear.
Well, should be noted, without the hook shot, we can't get into Hera to begin with. So that kind of puts a damper on my question. So, because I was about to ask, do you keep looking for Bombos and avoiding that Hera, or do you go for it and go get that Fire Rod?
Well, hang on a minute. We have mitts.
Oh, you are correct.
There in the light world, we can do the T-Rock routine.
Yeah.
Mitts might not just be a fetch quest after all.
And actually, now that I think about it, that's 10. You've got the 8 item locations on East Side Death Mountain. Yeah,
Paradox hype!
There's a lot of items there. Yeah, I probably would go, I'd probably go get that Fire Rod while I'm doing all those checks if I know it's there, because then that at least guarantees that I can do Ice Palace even if I find Bombos along the way.
And also could go and do the back of Skull Woods. Now, mind you, it is a green pendant, but you can just go straight to boss.
Alright, Lambo down for JP. And there's the map. And his first crystal.
One very dry burrito. So Sabo here about to finish up the bottom half of Desert. JP, on the other hand, going to get Baby's first shield. But I think before JP heads to the mountain, we're probably going to see a South Shore.
One would imagine. One would also imagine one might also stop on the way to South Shore and farm some rupees so you can go visit the good old King Zora.
Yep, could do a whole big overworld check. It'd be nicer to do it with a mirror so you could also incorporate the catfish into your play. But also, we have yet to see a 300 drop by the sea, so we might actually get the money just by doing the route. JP's about to reveal the sunken treasure. Now, even as the scrub player that I am, I have one philosophy about flippers. Doesn't come into play today, but fake it till you can make it. Oh, nice ice rod strats from Sabo.
3 strikes, the Lambos are out at the good old ball game.
JP is checking the new Hype Cave Mini Moldworm. Heart. 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 50. Blueberry. No progression. And I called you the new Hype Cave. So Sabo is going to be starting the South Shore as JP, checking the Ice Cave.
Alright, Ice Rod Cave, what you got? Half magic.
Useful.
And we're gonna see a water walk from JP.
Ooh. I like this. I don't get to see this very often. Nicely pulled off. Alright, Lake Island, you got a fetch quest or something?
Nope.
Nope, you're completely vanilla. So why is the hobo hiding from the law this time?
Well, he is a hobo. He really only has that $5.
He's not even an outlaw today. Guess he just can't afford a proper house. Sabo cleans out the Cave of Health. $88 rupees short, and JP says let's go.
Yeah, he's gonna throw those empty bottles in. See what the Waterfall of Wishing Fairy's giving out today. Green potion.
Completely vanilla. Now, the pyramid might produce something different.
Heart container on Zora Ledge, and not enough cash to go see Zora yet.
Sabo's even more broke at 277. JP is climbing the mountain.
This makes sense. You've got a lot of item density here. Plus, we know from the hint that the fire rod is in the coffee break room of Hera.
Lionels are a lot less scary when you have this much health. Nice job checking Bonk Shot Cave. All that for 10 arrows. Yeah, you can't really call it Hook Shot Cave without a hook shot.
Yeah, small problem there. Alright, Bombos needed for Turtle Rock. However, this being inverted, more often than not, you ain't gonna need that Bombos.
Yeah, Bombos air quotes needed for T-Rock. Mountain Island, just a big old 20.
And Dead Rocked.
Inverter Dead Rocks are still very annoying. JP taking a nice little dash around the old spiral cave. So nice to have boots when you're checking this location.
Well,
and the first of 5 300s.
Oh, now we have the cash for Zora.
Zabo is thinking something else, checking Agina's attic. Maybe he's holding some cash. $20 piece of heart and bombos.
Alright, so
the top/bottom of Paradox just was $70. And the bottom/top has Moldworm Pain. $20 butter, 10 arrows, piece of heart, another piece of heart. And Sabo's got an Eastern Palace without a bow. This is a gamble.
Alright, Sarah Zelda 1 asking, can the bow be on pedestal? Yes, it can in this seed. Problem is, we went and saw it, just a little bit of love.
Big key in the 100 rupee chest.
We also got a hint earlier on that said the fire rod was in the coffee break room of Hera, so no surprise, JP is going to probably check Ether Tablet and then go pick up that fire rod.
Once he finds that small key, that is, could be on the Moldworm. 10 arrows in the map chest of Eastern.
Yeah, there is that problem.
Ether Tablet, blueberries. That's one thing I noticed about V30. There's a lot of blueberries in this. Apparently, maps get left around the floor.
Ooh, hook shot and pod.
Big key in the back of the main room, and a useless hint for Sabo. Picked up the big key in the compass chest, and the compass in the big chest.
your earlier point about finding a whole bunch of bombs as JP takes an unfortunate fall, the thing is with version 30, they made that change where now the item capacity upgrades are no longer in the item pool. Now they're just at the Pond of Happiness that you can go pay $100 as it is in vanilla and get those upgrades. So in turn, a lot of bombs and arrows were placed back in the item pool because of that.
Zabo damage boosts his way to a big old 50. JP is checking the compass chest to Hera. It's the penalty key. Swamp Palace big key requires the hammer?
Woohoo! Thanks, game. That pretty much means 8 of the 10 locations are where the hammer could possibly be. Woohoo! Woohoo!
I love it when hints are useful.
I can see your sarcasm meter might not necessarily be on right now.
My sarcasm meter is right now pointing in the complex plane, not the real plane.
Ah. Well, 2 butter slashes and troll arms down.
Smothered and covered in Quake medallion, interesting.
Especially because we haven't seen what the Meyer medallion is.
So that might be a required pendant dungeon full clear. Meanwhile, JP off to set up the coffee break, and Sabo's checking Bunkshot Cave.
Interesting. So, JP is not taking the coffee break. Instead, he's intentionally taking damage. I imagine this would have to be to Death Warp. But for what though? You can't get the Spike Cave because there isn't the
Oh, he just doesn't want to walk all the way back up Tower of Hera. Doesn't have a mirror yet. That's all that was. Just so he can kill himself on these skeletons and just be out of this place a little faster once he gets his fire rod. Though I do like your comment about Spike Cave, it is very convenient right now.
Well, but that's the thing. The portal isn't there. It's in the Dark World.
Oh. So like I was saying about them not having a mirror. I completely forgot.
So what is JP going for then?
Mimic.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, some terraformer pulled out the smoothing tool and allowed you to jump here. All that for a big old 20. So if I'm not mistaken, JP has the lead basically by a Tower of Hera.
He still has to go to Thieves Town.
Okay, as the lead by a Tower of Hera minus a Thieves Town. I don't know whether that's a positive or a negative quantity, but that's what you got.
Now we got Fire Shield on Pyramid Ledge. JP ain't bothering with that. looks like we're going to get the play on pod. We know the hook shot is in pod. The question is, can we get to it?
I believe the answer is yes, because we have a bottle with a potion in it.
Yeah. Pretty much the only way we couldn't get the hook shot if the hook shot was on Helmusar.
Okay, yeah, you're right on that. That would be so rude, I would love it. JP in the old shooter room.
And we are bow locked. That won't stop JP from doing a potion glitch. Logically, though, we are still bow locked.
But these are tournament level runners. They reject your logic and substitute their own.
Very nice Mythbuster reference there. I approve of this.
I don't think Sabo was happy about that moldworm being necessary by the spamming of the book.
Alright. Potion glitch to words. Potion glitch achieved. Now just need to get a red mimic on a skull and then walk the green mimics off the stage. Or, well, you could kill them too, that works. But there we go.
Sabo, meanwhile, taking the coffee break. And just like that, we found 2 of the 6 small keys of pod. God, I love that reverse bonk. And for the last time you hear from this commentary team, we are not impressed by that fire rod at all because we knew it all along.
And there's the hook shot.
In the big key chest. So JP picks up the hook by crook. Usually it's by hook or crook, and this time it's hook via crook. JP decided he's going to do a little bit of more pod while here.
Yeah, this makes sense. I mean...
yeah, you can do everything but a boss.
And the thing is that you're... okay, granted, he hasn't even done anything of Eastern yet. But since you have to get the mirror to do Swamp Palace, you could easily... you know you're going to get it at some point. You can easily combo Eastern and Pod together whenever you get the bow. Assuming you have the mirror at that point, too. But details.
Question for you.
Ish.
With this sequence broken hook shot, do you play the fetching game on the overworld with this and go to Hookshot Cave and try to go further outside the logic bounds? Or do you just say, okay, I'm a little ahead of the game and try to stick to the game logic?
Let me think about this for a sec.
Because were there 4 items in that cave?
Yeah, but we already saw one because of the bonk.
Okay, so there's 3 items in that cave.
Which is why I would say no, you go to Ice Palace, because there's 3 items there plus the crystal. And Sabo did not pick up a potion from the Waterfall of Wishing, so seeing that it's bow locked, he's out.
Wishing for different progression. Maybe Zora.
Well, what do we have left? We have Catfish, we have Zora. We have the Smith Chain.
We have Ice Palace.
And that's where Sabo's heading. And meanwhile, JP is going to finish off blind.
Yes, Sabo, you need a fire rod and an ice rod. Moon Pearls and Hype Cave. Thanks, Gabe.
Not like we got that an hour ago. Speaking of which, since it has been an hour, this is usually a good time to mention that please do give sab0tender and JP follows on Twitch. They are putting on quite the entertaining race for us tonight and certainly deserve your follows.
Other people who deserve your follows, Mind of Me over on the tracker, and my co-commentator, Jix Refi. This has been a fun hour. May it continue. And by God, it's gotta be Kane!
Alright. Kane of Samarian, Ice Palace. I should also say, do give JTN a follow. Since he was kind enough to say, give me a follow, I would certainly...
I was wondering when you were going to say that.
Well, the thing is, I normally don't do those until, like, the end of the race, so that's not... that wasn't normal for me to do, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to look like a total jerk if I don't return the favor.
Well, to be fair, you were kind of interrupted by a Canis Samarian. There's a unique item held by the Kakariko Village Elder.
Could that be the bow? I mean, that's all we're missing for Go mode.
Bow mode is Go mode.
Oh
boy.
I forgot mirror. We still need mirror.
Oh, yep. We are Go -2.
The White Panther in chat making a good point. Even the Hintao can't spell Sahasrahla.
Salad Shooter, Sassafras, Sassy Rassy, whatever you want to call him. He's got something unique. Could be a red boomerang.
Could be a D. Could be a shiny object.
Could be the single arrow. I don't think we've seen that yet.
No, I don't think we have.
Sabo's not happy.
Yeah, I think he remembered he doesn't have hook shot, so that's not the preferred way to go at this point.
IP full tour. Yeah, Ice Palace without a hook shot. It's possible. It ain't pretty, but it's possible.
Having that Cane of Samaria there certainly means cold stares in logic. And the small key in the iced tea room, according to what...
the right side.
Yeah, according to what I understand in the logic, that means the right side of Ice Palaces is in logic. There's been a lot of debate back and forth between different chat and co-commentators that whether or not that is the case, but as I like to know, maybe.
So, all this Swamp Palace talk, we know there's 11 arrows now in the left side of Swamp. So, my fellow parishioners of the Church of Swamp Palace, this is not our day.
The Church of Swamp Palace?
That was coined by a certain commentator I was on air with when the left side of Swamp had the last 2 items for Go Mode on a seed.
Ah, I see.
Because usually praying you don't have to do it, then it happens.
Hmm.
So the other Ice Palace bomb jump, and it gets it on the last try! And saved by the cane of Daniel Bryan. As we glance to the other side, JP is saving the baker, or whatever he's making today.
Alright, there's a big key.
Right before its vanilla location. And their Heartsmiths today, as we see a big 20 to finish up the right side of Eastern Palace. Or Ice Palace. Yeah. Eastern Ice. Yeah. Words are hard.
Yes, words are hard.
JP's going to IP. JP is going to IP. So I think with that small key, we are guaranteed to get some progression from Cold Stare, or at least not a dungeon item.
Someone in chat was saying that we had found all 3 items, though. I don't know for certain, but I was not keeping track of the item count.
Sabo taking a dip over to the refill room.
Yeah. Sabo doesn't have the map, which that means that has to be on Cold Stare.
So it appears progression in this seed has been temporarily put on ice.
Well, I mean, that Cane of Samaria certainly was progression.
Yeah, but the dungeons that need it were kind of not ready for yet.
Well, real quick, though, I do have to say that Sabo gets Cold Stare in a quarter, few butter slashes, and blink and you miss it, Cold Stare's dead.
As we get a crystal and a burrito from the frozen food section.
Meanwhile, JP forgets, hey, I kind of need to have the block up in order to make that Ice Palace bomb jump be worth anything.
Thankfully, though, JP won't have to do the other Ice Palace bomb jump because we already have a hook shot on that half of the screen.
So to chat talking about why Sabo does not have the hook shot, we did find 2 bottles. Neither of them had anything in them. So JP threw one in to get the green, see that it was green potion. Sabo, on the other hand, did not throw it in. So that's why JP was able to use the potion glitch to get the hook shot, where Sabo noped out as soon as he saw that it was bow locked.
One of our runners is behaving by the logic. The other is being a dirty, rotten mythbuster.
The one that's going by the logic remembered that there was a hint that said that Sahasrara does have a unique item. So he's going to finish off Pendant Skullwoods to see if that unique item is either a bow or a mirror.
We do know the pedestal is out of the game today. Just a piece of heart there from a convenient check from JP earlier, as he learns about the 11-arrow left side swamp.
So to your earlier point about the Cane of Samaria not opening up progression, I do have to say, Pendant Turtle Rock, with that Cane of Samaria, you can certainly check a lot more things than you couldn't have before.
Yeah, but you could still access Laser Bridge with... Oh, we don't have a mirror, never mind!
Which is why, hey, you have a Cane of Samaria now to get down there.
But this is inverted! Nobody ever does that dungeon vanilla in inverted!
You can now.
Yeah, this could be a first. If you're wondering about this potion glitch that occurred earlier in pod we were talking about, basically you use the potion while you're moving through that east-west hallway before the room, and the room does not lock. But enough of that, we got a moth fight going on!
4 butter slashes and down goes that moth.
I'd say I'm so glad they actually fixed the bug in the initial game where the butter sword does not do damage to that boss. So, armed with Sassy Rassy's family heirloom, Sabo's running to another destination.
Oh, he was.
No, or realizing he has yet to check a pedestal.
Doesn't really have the means to... No, he doesn't have the means to get there. Again, mirror works in reverse. He forgot that there was a chest there.
Little minor derp there, but easy enough to fix.
No worries. It's an amazement that I haven't... Whoa, hey, there's a mirror.
Like I was saying, looks like Sabo might be checking a pedestal now.
Well, again, that mirror still works in reverse.
So once again, I am completely wrong. But with that mirror, we can do what I was saying earlier about checking T-Rock the wrong way.
So, looks like Sabo might be still checking that pedestal like you want him to. Just having to do it the way inverted now forces him to do it. Or not. Now I make a mistake. Oh, Jeremiah.
So now might be a good time to recap where we are at progression-wise in the crystal counts while our runners are retracing others' previous steps. Zabo's on 3 crystals and a pendant, whereas JP is on 3 crystals and a pendant.
Actually,
Or, sorry.
Sabo's got 2 pendants.
Yes, this college math professor can count when he's not on the clock. JP picks up the green pendant. Meanwhile, Sabo's gonna show us something new. Gonna see what's inside the lunchbox after taking it on a... Oh boy, here we go. Lunchbox World Tour.
Now that JP has that second pendant, we're pretty much at even right now. Now that JP also has a mirror, except for Bombos being in Sahasrah's closet. Though you would hopefully assume that if JP is gonna go did all the work to get that pendant, you would imagine he would check the closet while he's turning in that pendant.
Interesting that Sabo's opting to check Lumberjack instead of just going to get it.
Question from Sarah Zelda, is Bow on Fat Fairy possible? No, Eastern is one of the 5-6 crystals.
Now, is it just me, or did that lunchbox get a lot more patience in V30?
They got a lot more patience. Alright, so we got a hint that the green pendant has a unique item. If that unique item is the D, then JP could be in go mode. And it's the D!
So, at 1 hour, 17 minutes, 45 seconds, JP is in go mode!
And he almost forgot about that Bombos medallion, which could have put that on hold. But now it's official. So that means we got 4 crystals left to do in rather go mode fashion: Eastern, Pod, Swamp, and Mire.
Now, I'm going to argue a technical detail with you. That Bombos may not have actually been required because you do not necessarily need to open that front door of T-Rock.
But you need to open the front door of Mire.
But we don't know what's needed to open Mire, so we went from a Schrodinger's go mode to a genuine go mode.
And now sab0tender at 1:19:05 is in go mode as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, oh wait, no, Sabo still has to get the hook shot, so he's not in go mode yet, but we assume he will be once...
Sabo's in no mode at this point, because of the hint.
Mm-hmm.
This race is now officially, in my opinion, too close to call.
Yeah, JP has a little bit of an advantage because of being able to potion glitch to get said hook shot. He's combed all through Pod and just has to go straight for Helmasar. Sabo, not having a potion, didn't potion glitch, so is gonna have to find the big key and the hook shot. So that is gonna give JP a little bit of advantage, but as we've seen many a time in this randomizer, a Ganon fall here or there, a left-right GT big key, this race is by no means over.
Left-right GT big key, you say. More on that later.
Fabian.
Interesting. Sabo's deciding to just go straight to the back of Eastern. Go ahead.
Fabian asking, flute not required in Misery Mire. Nope.
Welcome to Inverted.
Now, you could need the flute, logically, to get to the mire area. However, the mirror is now an option, because you can basically go to desert and mirror to mire from there.
And because of the go mode, Sabo is able to skip the tour to the big key chest of Eastern, closing the gap a little bit more. JP mirrors the pod and he's diving straight for the back.
And here's where you're going to see JP get a lead. He's already been through here, just has to go straight to Helmasar. Sabo, on the other hand, has to hunt for the hook shot and for the big key.
And one small key that you can take to the back. So now that both of our runners are in go mode, this has been a relatively jet seed for Inverted.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, that's the thing about Inverted, is that it feels very claustrophobic to start because you have so few options. But as soon as you get to the light world, you just get shot out of a cannon, and there's so much to check.
Progression is almost as explosive as seeing JP's 9 bombs on the screen. Speaking of which, since we're both somewhat scrubby runners ourselves, do you prefer hammer for Helmasor, or do you throw bombs?
I prefer hammer. Now, if you asked 8-year-old Jex Refi when he played this game when he was a kid, I threw the bombs. And then I saw all the runners who are much better than me use the hammer. Alright, 123.30, Sabo is now officially in go mode.
JP 2 crystals away. Swamp first or Mire first? That's the question.
Mire. You do Mire. You then use the portal to get back to the light world. You go do Swamp, and then it's just a jaunt over to Hyrule Castle to go to Ganon's Tower.
And we can use the portal over there since AGA 1 was required today. So, ironically enough, if I can recall this correctly, we were all dungeons minus 1 pendant.
Yeah.
Gotta love that inverted blue goo shop.
Well, technically at this point, we don't know if Hera actually was required. The reason both runners went there is because we got a hint saying that the fire rod was in the coffee break room. And then we also found Quake on Trolldorm. But with Bombos being in Sahastrala's closet, it is entirely possible that we didn't need the fire rod for Ice Palace. And until we see what the medallion we need for Mire is, we may not have needed the Quake for Mire.
Point made.
And apparently JP is going to do Swamp first instead of Mire.
I don't see any strong argument either way. Unless...
Actually, I know. I just remembered why. Because...
Oh, I see how it is. You're gonna say, oh, I know the exact reason he's doing it. Then cut out in your microphone and we don't know. Is it because you're just going to save and quit to Link's house after this that it doesn't really matter which way you're going? Well, either way, the world may never know. Sabo, meanwhile, taking down Helmasaur King. JP picking up the key to the back of Swamp Palace. And just diving straight for the back, skipping over that left side because we know it's just 11 arrows from a hint earlier, and also, these runners are in go mode. Sabo cleaning up the 5th crystal, JP draining the swamp. And Jex Referee, you were saying something about knowing why the runner was going to swamp before Mire.
Sorry, my internet crapped out on me. Because they had to do Aga 1, they can just go they can just save and quit and go straight to the door for Ganon's Tower.
You mean Castle Tower, you mean Ganon's Tower, right, inverted.
Yeah, that. Alright, Argus down, crystal number 6 for JP.
So JP is on his way to get mired in absolutely zero details. And Sabo is about to enter the main room of Swamp Palace.
And it was Link.
All but one dungeon required. Wow. Gotta love when the game throws you an ice rod early and you don't even need it.
That's usually how it works. Also, this is anecdotal evidence.
Best kind of evidence.
Alright, so no Godmire.
The seed's been nice. The seed has not been that nice. JP having to start the left side of Meyer. Sabo taking down the pirate boss. Meyer compass chest with just a big 5, so we are going to not see the cutscene chest. Instead, we're going to go push a button. No, we're going to go see a cutscene chest. Or, no, we're not going to go see a cutscene chest. Confirmed, we are not going to go see the cutscene chest. So JP just picked up the big chest south of the spiky chest room. I guess the best way to describe that one. And is off to the basement of Meyer on his way to face down the giant eyeballs. Meanwhile, Sabo is starting the Meyer dive. Advantage for JP, I would call probably 2/3 of a Meyer.
Either way, at this point, he just has to finish Vitreous and then head for GT.
You know what makes me sad about this seed?
What's that?
No geese have been released, but I still got to rhyme out.
Well, you know.
Ooh, little divergence there. Sabo has now swag.
I think both of them did get the swag net. Alright.
Cape Butter and Silvers. Good recipe for taking down Viddy.
Alright, so that is crystal number 7. So JTN 2002, tell our fellow chat.
I will tell them as you restabilize your internet. Ladies and children of all ages, boys and girls, there are 22 chests in the basement of the Gadd's Tower. Where do you think the GT Big Key is today? You believe somebody sniped my guess of 13? Okay, we're modifying to 12 today because somebody sniped my guess of 13. Bob's torch number 1 is a small key. We do need one of those. JP is going for Dark Magician strats. Get small key from the pot, and we're off to DM's room. Number 3 is a small key. Number 4 is blueberries. 5 is big 20, and 6 will be another big 20. So if you guessed 1 through 6, you're out.
Wouldn't that just have been 1 through 5, though?
Yes, I can count. Speaking of chest number 6, there's your winner. JP's not even checking the chest right next to it in Hope Room. Now, if you like Hope Room, that could have been a 1.
All right, well, the first guess from a sub or supporter that was close was 7 from Bubble Trousers, so congratulations, you have been added to our leaderboard.
See, unlike guessing blue balls, you actually win something.
All right, so at this point, randomization is pretty much done. You got butter, you got silvers, you got blue mail. All you got to do is just execute your way up the rest of the tower.
With no safeties besides Fisher Price Shield. Because JP is on empty bottles. I think. Maybe a blue goo.
Well, he's going to pick up these fairies here.
If you're wondering about that room, the bottom center pot has the full magic.
But with the full magic part, JP ain't worrying about it. He's going right into the gauntlet.
Using Fire Rod because we have half magic today. And with that, sab0tender is on his way. Climbing up the Castle Tower of Ganon.
And Sabo's going right. This will save him a few seconds. Although he will still have to get a small key.
That's alright, Bob is happy to oblige. Perfect silver land mode 2.
Very nicely done.
Now, probably the final optional question here, as you're climbing up GT, do you check these final 4 chests?
No. Again, you got butter and silvers. I mean, maybe if you want a red mail, but neither of these runners need a red mail.
Yeah, powder'd be nice for anti-fairies.
Thing is, once you get to the room before Trolldorm 2, that's where the anti-fairies end.
So you could check the ones in the mini Helmasaur room. There are 2 there.
True.
By to me, you forget. When it comes to running this game, I am a coward.
I do have a little prize that I do give out if we don't have the bot guessing game, but it does come with a disclaimer about I suckitis, and I definitely suffer from I suckitis.
Well, many Helmos were skipped. The penultimate conclusion has been skipped. JP taking down Trolldorm 2 with butter. Nicely done. And the ultimate conclusion, the world may never know.
Alright, time for the Geometry Wars.
How many blue balls from this saga fight?
Well, they're going to be exactly the same as what was in Aga 1, which means a lot.
Doubles and triples help, though.
Especially that triple. All right.
There were 0 in that fight.
Yep, JP has Agatu down, and it is time for the big pig.
And Jerson in chat confirms 0-2-3-1. JP has batted the full cycle. I'll let you read Ganon's words of wisdom for today.
Yeah, today it's about slugs.
Funny Ganon talks about slugs in such a jet seat. We just crossed over the 100-minute mark and we're facing the big pig. Interesting, Sabo is doing some upper GT chest checks, nothing from Mini Helma, but did get a small key, useful. JP, well, one hit away from entering the final phase, and there's the flute in the penultimate chest.
Did we find the arrows in the light world? Yes! Here's one in your face!
There's 3 more to follow it! And the notable conclusion, 5 rupees.
Alright, just one more to go, and that'll do it!
Because the real ultimate conclusion of any rando is a pair of G's. Get him in chat.
Just have to wait for JP to get through the door, and it will be official. And with that, JP finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 55 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
And apparently the Triforce is a cat. Meanwhile, we cut to sab0tender fighting down Agatu. Nicely done. And while Sabo sets up the fight against the Big Pig, if you would extend an invite to our winner for an interview.
I'll get right on that.
That Agata fight brought to you by all singles and a double.
Alright. JP is going to join us, but he is going to give Sabo the courtesy of taking down the Big Pig before we bring both of them in.
Oop, 2 hearts, careful. What am I saying? Careful. We're already phase 3. So this is what happens when you butter your pork. Sack for sale from Zora.
That would be powder. We never did check what Zora had.
And that's where Red Mail was, on the witch.
Alright, that's Ganon down for Sabo.
And Digspot just had a little bit of cash, so there's your fetch quest info as sab0tender finishes with an official SRL time of
1 hour, 45 minutes, and 28 seconds. GG's to
With that, we'll bring in BrewersFanJP in for the interview. GG, well done. Sub 2.
Thank you. That was a pretty nice seed.
Yeah, it was pretty. We can pretty much say that was a kind of a jet seed.
Yeah, I guess I don't have much to compare it to yet with inverteds, but it did seem a bit quick.
Mm-hmm.
It was the quickest one I've seen outside of AGA 1, 10 blue balls later.
Yeah, that was some Mega 1 fight. Oh, man. I mean, you know, in the randomizer that your opponent's going to get the exact same thing.
Like butter under 40 minutes.
So, interesting. We had an interesting situation unfold with the fact that we got the hint that the fire rod was in Tower of Hera, which was a pendant, but then needing ice palace. So it was very interesting. You know, I was kind of making the question of, do you hold off Hera for the fire rod, or do you look for bombos? But turned out you needed to do Hera anyway for the Quake Medallion.
Well, I mean, fire rod was also required for Skull Woods because the mirror was back there as well as bow access.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
Yep, salad shooter with a family heirloom of a bow.
Yeah, and I wasn't 100% sure, even if I should have been going for that, but I figured, okay, there's still an item back in Skullwood, so at the minimum I'm going to get one more check. Plus, I haven't checked Saharsla's closet yet, so it doesn't hurt to go.
Quite true.
Yeah, actually, almost, like, I put you probably saw on the restream, I almost ran away right after getting the boat, but then I'm like, wait, I don't know what Meyer is. I better keep looking for Bombos, and then it was right back there.
Yeah, that gave us a little bit of a scare, because your competition actually checked the back of Salad Shooter's hut first, so we knew that was there from our perspective. But you don't normally call an all but one pendant dungeon seed a jet seed. I guess that's what inverted does to you.
Yeah, it really is surprising about time. I mean, wait till you see the collection rate on this too. But yeah, this was really, really surprising. I think you could go mode 4 dungeons, though. Well, actually, we really couldn't go mode pod because of where the big key was. Mm-hmm. But you could go mode Eastern, Swamp, and Mire, and really, there was no reason not to, based on where the items were placed.
I mean, that was honestly the thing that kind of made the difference in the race, was the fact that you had gotten the green potion from the Waterfall Fairy, and so you were able to bottle glitch your way into pod and to comb it out, so that by the time both of you found the bow off of Sahasrahla, the thing was you had a bit of an advantage because you just had to go mode pod, whereas sab0tender, on the other hand, had to do a full clear in order to get the hook shot and the big key.
Speaking of sab0tender not potion glitching pod, welcome!
Hey, how's it going? GG's, JP.
GG.
So, we were just talking about the interesting choices of do you potion glitch pod early without having the bow or not, and I think that may have been the ultimate decider in how this race went. So, Sabo, from your perspective, Jet Seed despite requiring all but one pendant dungeon?
Yeah, I think I heard JP talking about how we don't have so much to compare to. I've only run a couple of inverted seeds myself, but yeah, I mean, 9 dungeons, yeah, and AGA, it was fast for what I'm used to. So yeah, definitely.
Butter in under 40 minutes.
Yeah, gave us a lot of stuff.
So, whose choice was this mode?
Well, it was mine, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll my seeds from now on.
Sure.
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of revenge. He beat me in my choice, and I beat him in his choice.
Yeah, it's going to set up a pretty nice game 3.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with it, in the group stage, every runner runs the other 5 runners in their group 3 times. Top seed gets first choice, bottom seed gets second, and then we randomize it for the third one.
The time difference, by the way, 2 hours. Oh goodness, no, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So this was a bit of a nail biter. So as you've each won one now, the question is, what do the bands end up becoming for the deciding game 3?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head what I would ban. Probably, sorry, retro, but probably retro.
We've seen a few retros come on the schedule lately, much to people's chagrin.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do. I mean, there's a couple options I've got going through my mind. I might, and even despite how well this one went, I still have inverted as a possibility, just because I prefer to go with something I know a little better. Swordless is a possibility too. I don't mind swordless, but I do fear I do fear a little bit the possibility of a hard swordless.
That'd be pretty
hard
nasty.
swordless would be bad. With having found gold swords so early, would either of you be interested in banning hard mode?
Not really. I'm fine with hard mode.
I might choose it, but nah, I think hard's okay. No real problems there.
Yeah, I mean that's tough to think about. I've got a couple more matches first to do before I'm gonna try to do all of my third games in a row. Like I've got my game 2s against a couple more people first.
Oh wow, there's something you don't see every day, people. Collection rates identical at 138. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were talking about that in the IRC there.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, it's probably we even though essentially with not only the G. Actually, no, we had essentially equal GT text looking at the restream, because Sabo he found the big key in his first chest, but he checked the.
And then had to go hunt for the
chests.
small. Yep, that was it, and that's why you have a difference, I believe, of just one piece of heart in the trackers. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. So
Wow, yeah.
yeah, and
I also just noticed that
if you're wondering where the rest of your safety was, that was all behind fetch quests. But go ahead.
Ooh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do those. I also just noticed as is the credits are scrolling by there. Wow, I'm gonna boast about my menu time there. I think it was 2:18. I have never had a menu time that low. That's crazy.
Yeah, mine was pretty low too, which makes me somewhat wonder if it was glitched. But if it's not, then I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Either way, excellent race from both the. Oh, hey, you chat people over there. Give these two runners a follow. They deserve it. Even second place, under 146. This was amazing on all counts. And with that, I'm pretty much rendered speechless. Jex Ruffy, I'll let you take us out.
Well, I'll give JP and Sabo one final chance. Any final thoughts before we do wrap up shop?
Well, I'd say this was a good game against you, Sabo. Looking forward to game 3. Man, I can't believe how our group's going. This has kind of been a bit of a crazy ride, and I think we're going to have a crazy finish in this group.
Yeah, no doubt. GG's again, JP. This was a really fun one. Yeah, our group is kind of nuts. Group F is where it's at. It's zany. So I just want to give you guys a shout out. Jex Refi, JTN, thanks a lot for doing comms tonight. And Mind of Me on Tracker Duty, thank you so much for doing all you do.
Yeah, thanks for your work as well.
Absolutely. Again, you guys were the star of the show, and certainly it was a pleasure to watch the race. Do want to quickly say that tomorrow, starting at 1:20 on Speed Gaming 2, we are going to have a doubleheader between In the Name of DT and Gus. We're going to start with all dungeons inverted at 1:20, and then at 4 o'clock, we're going to do Hard Key Sanity. So,
and these are PM Eastern. We do not have a race that started 10 minutes ago.
This is true. We also have T-Stew versus Bonta on Speed Gaming 3 at 4:30, which is standard seed with hard mode. Liam Atlas and Ariar are going to do Inverted Ganon on Speed Gaming 4 at 5:30. And Swordless Randomizer between Lara GG and Solski. So if you prefer masochism, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the main Speed Gaming channel.
And if you want to see some more Ganon Inverted, you can come back at 8:30 p.m. for Glenn versus Dante on SG4. So there's a good variety.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of this fall tournament, of all the different modes we get to see. So, JTN, it was a pleasure to have you along in the commentary booth. Certainly would love to do it again. And again, shout outs to our tracker, Mind of Me, for keeping track of all the items we found throughout this race.
Absolutely. And of course, speaking of our tracker to my fellow commentator, give the booth a follow. Give Speed Gaming 1 through 6 a follow, so of course you get all the alerts when any sort of crazy random stuff happens, like the past Randomizer.
Exactly. Also give my co-commentator GTN 2002 a follow as well. With that, we're going to wrap up shop here. So for JTN and Mind of Me, I am Jex Reffi. We'll see you next mission.